I'm gonna show you how to calculate multiples for this is a Swedish company H&M. I have income statement here, sort of. I have my balance sheet here. I have my cash flow here. EBITDA here. And this is I think these numbers are purely based on this one's. So I'll remove these because it's calculations and not pure data. So what we want to do is we want to calculate many different multiples, like P ratio, price to sales ratio, price to book. So usually what I do, I can put it here. As you can see, it's pretty much you have price and you have end price value usually. So we could calculate something else, but I think those two, like price and price value, you can maybe highlight these cells like that. So how do you calculate price? You need a number of shares, and the nice thing about Börsdata is they have number of shares here. So yeah, like that, and then you time it with the stock price, which could be there, stock price. Not sure what it is right now. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we have our price here. How do we calculate our end price value? Well, we take the price plus the net debt. So in this case, the latest figure was minus 18 billion kroner, I think, yeah. So just add it on. And this makes sense because the end price is lower than the price, and that means they have net cash, and that's why the figure is negative. So yeah, now we have our stock price, our price on H&M. I'm not sure if this is correct, but it's a principle. And you have your end price value, which is lower than your price. So what do you want to do here? We can just do it here. Yeah, how do you calculate the price to earnings? Well, it's simple. You take the price, then you find the latest. This is on the latest 4 quarters, so it's applicable. So yeah, you do profit of equity holders like that. Perfect. This is not correct. So something is definitely wrong. Like let's see. Oh no. This is Odd Molly. Okay. Yeah. Was the wrong company. Anyways, so does this make sense? No, because Odd Molly is priced at about 40 kroner. Yeah, so that makes more sense. Yeah, so keep doing that. So price of sales, you have your price, and you divide it with your revenue. You can always look at these two metrics. You can look at the profit margin. I'm just gonna show you. Profit equity holders. So yeah, that's why if you would take this number and divide it by that, you'll have your P ratio. It's always kind of interesting, I think. It's slightly irrelevant, but yeah. So price to book, same, the price, and then you find your book value, which is your equity. And Börsdata is kind of bad when it comes to this, but I believe total equity is the right one, because it says total equity here as well, which is weird, but it's this one. Yeah, makes sense. Dividend yield, that is something we haven't touched upon, but usually you can either do it, I think this is calculated per share, dividend per share. Or is it? No, it's probably not. It's probably a million. Yeah. So it's if it were to be per share, you could just compare it to the stock price. But since it's absolute value, we should compare it to, and it's not adjusted or anything. We just we need to use the price. So in order to get a dividend yield, you take the dividend and divide it with the price. So you'll have something like this, which seems... Does it seem reasonable? Anyways, let's continue. So you have enterprise EBIT. This is the first time we use enterprise value, but the principle is the same. You take your enterprise value, divide it with your EBIT, which is operating income. Next one, it's the same. Enterprise value, find it. You have your EBITDA here. Enterprise value earnings. Same principle, find your profit to equity holders. The only difference between like enterprise value earnings and price to earnings is the denominator, I think it's called. Enterprise value free cash flow, like that. Then you find your free cash flow, which is your operating cash flow after capex. So it should be this one. Perfect. So as you can see, they probably have I already have large parts in working capital that are increasing, like current assets build up, or maybe very high investments that eat off cash flow. And you can probably see it like here. You have 10 million minus in investments. So enterprise value operational cash flow, OCF, it's also called. You need your enterprise value, and you find your operational cash flow, where we got it. Enterprise value to sales, same as price to sales, just like that. And earnings to this is a really stupid metric. It's like the inverse of enterprise value earnings, but it's not very intuitive in my opinion. So I'm not sure what this is. Then you have your price to book tangible assets. So what you want to do here is you want to change the book value to also reflect a build-up maybe in intangible assets. If you were to consider intangible assets less valuable, perhaps than like more current or financial assets, you can always adjust for it by. So first you have to do a price like that, and since it's a fraction, what you do here is you find your equity, which is this one, then you subtract intangible assets, which we have here. So and the current ratio, I can just do a quick ratio as well. As you know, it's current assets. Let's if I post here current assets, and since it's a clothing company, so it makes sense. They have a lot of current assets, stores and such, and low turnover. So current assets, and you divide it on non-current current liabilities. Here we go, like that. And in order to calculate the quick ratio, it would be essentially the same. You just adjust denominator. So current assets minus what's it called? 1 second. Inventory, yeah, exactly. Sorry, blackout. So in order to do this, you would need your inventory, I suppose, but this data isn't that detailed, so it's not possible to change. This is all the information we have about current assets with no smaller posts, including that one. So yeah, that is a quick video.